here I am in Chicago for the Chicago Pro that I'm going to do, that I'm going to compete in tomorrow, and I can't believe it. I can't even register that I'm here right now. I feel really out of it. I know I'm in Chicago, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I was just in Chicago 3 weeks ago at Junior Nationals, and I got my pro card 3 weeks ago. And I thought I would need time to process and let things sort of absorb, but about a couple of days later, I was like, you know what? I've been dreaming for this for 15 years. I am fucking ready. I am so ready for this. Mentally, emotionally, physically, yeah, there's some things I need to improve on, but so does everybody. And especially at this level, I don't care how good you get, you're always going to have something to do. So I know what work's laid ahead of me. I have to get bigger and I have to get more developed. But where I was at a few weeks ago, I would say was almost at my peak. And I asked myself, I was like, can and should I prep for another 3 weeks? I felt healthy. My momentum was still there. No problems. I felt recharged. After finally getting rewarded for everything that I've done, that was my, okay, you can pass go now. Now I have permission to do what I've been waiting to do. For all the times that I've been told, you can't have it yet. You can't have this pro card yet. You're not a pro yet, you can't get to this level. I finally have that. It was just the ceiling was just lifted off of me. And so now it's let me go, man. Let me loose. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And it's weird because I don't even feel intimidated or anxious, even though some of the awesome competitors that I'll be sharing that stage with tomorrow, 38 other pro figure competitors, some of them I've followed since I was 16 years old, and I've idolized them, and it's just insane to me that I'm going to be standing next to them on the stage that I've watched them on for this long. So that's kind of crazy. There are no height classes anymore. There's no age classes. So I will be one of the smaller people here. I know it. I'm 5'2.5", and some of these ladies are 5'8" and much more muscular than me. And so what I know I can bring is good posing. I think I have a good shape, and my conditioning now is already better than it's ever been. I can't even process that this is my body right now. But there are some things that have happened that have got me to this point. Some of you who I've talked to, I know, kind of knew where I was mentally from Junior USAs to Junior Nationals, that month of May and June. That was a weird month for me. I was actually very upset about the placing that I had received before, because I knew that I had the potential to get my pro card. And when I had gotten third, I was just done. I was so done with that. I was I almost got it, and it wasn't good enough, and it just pissed me off. So I was fine, I'll just fucking work as hard as I can, harder than I know that I can. It was really weird because it's I emotionally shut off from everything. I feel bad for my friends and family because I didn't feel like myself. I felt extremely out of balance. It was almost like a survival mode. And even now it's weird because I'm kind of back into it for other circumstances, but I felt like I just turned into a machine. And I guess that's what it takes to get to this level, because I turned into a machine for 3 weeks. It paid off. I got my pro card. And this last week has been absolute hell for me. Last Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays ago, I think. God, I don't even know what Wednesday it is. Anyway, it was 10 days ago. I had the contract for this show in my hand. I had it printed off and signed. I had everything ready to go, and I thought, I'm going to hang on to this for just a minute, because I know this is not my only opportunity to compete as a pro this year, and I didn't want to put that pressure on myself if I didn't think that I could perform well. So I asked myself, I was like, why should I do this? Is there going to be some sort of benefit or advantage or emotional or physical gain from this or whatever? And I just felt ready. This is a dream of mine for 15 years. Think about that for a minute. That is half of my life. I'm 30. half of my life I've dreamed to get here, and the opportunity is right here. It's close enough to home, and I was like, I can do it. I should do it, because life can change very quickly, and I don't know if I'll have the opportunity again. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and just see where I stand. I want to be validated. I really like the feeling of going somewhere with, I have nothing to lose. I'll show up tomorrow. I'm going to bring my absolute best. I've never been better than this, and I know it. I have experience. I'm not new to this sport. I feel really comfortable, and I want to see where I fall and where I stand. And this is a nice, prestigious pro show. It's not, it's actually one of the top tiers of the shows, pro shows. And so, like, if you win, you go straight to the Olympia. If you get top 5, you qualify points. And I didn't even think about the point stuff. I just want to see where I'm at. And all I want for tomorrow is to go up on that stage, and as soon as I walk out, I want people to go, holy shit, who is that girl? How can we find out more about her? That's all I want. So I just want to have a good impression. I just want to feel that freedom, and just stepping my feet onto that stage tomorrow will just be like my biggest life accomplishment. And I can't believe it's happening 3 weeks from, just 3 weeks ago. I was like hoping and dreaming. I was like, I hope this happens. I hope I turn pro. And here I am, and I'm like, I'm here I am. I don't know what's going on, but I will never forget this week. This has been the hardest week of my entire life. I held on to the contract because I didn't want to send it in when I knew this, but my boyfriend and I moved out of our old place, and we moved into a new home, a bigger home. And I knew we had to be in before July 1st, and it is now the 5th. And so I was like, can I really move less than a week before my first pro show? Is that a smart choice? And we talked about it, and he said, yeah, do it. He said, we'll figure it out, we'll move it. And that man moved our entire house and got everything taken care of in a matter of like 2 or 3 days. I say we moved, but he essentially moved everything. I still can't believe we did it. We got all the stuff out, and it's just parked in our new place. Everything's boxed up. Everything's a mess. But he did it so that I could do this show. So after we talked about it, I sent off the contract. And then a few days later, I received news that one of my very best friends, one of the most influential people in my life, passed away on Friday. And I knew it was coming. That was part of the first show that made it so hard. But I wasn't expecting that phone call then, and I don't care how much you prepare for it. I wasn't ready to hear it. I've been grieving this for 2 or 3 months already, but the reality of it happening, I know I haven't been able to really deal with. That happened Friday, a week ago, and I have a lot of support. I've had a lot of people to talk through with it, but I've been trying to allow myself to feel things when I can. But I signed up for a professional show, and I have a job to do, and it's a commitment, and no matter what happens, I have something I have to carry out now. I agreed to this, and so it's been a very difficult thing for me to separate myself from that, and I'll have to carry myself to stage without letting that affect me negatively. But it is a real part of life, and I know it's something I'm going to have to come home and deal with. After Saturday, it's going to be a really messy week for me, or time period for me. I can't even say a week, because I have to accept and process what has happened. But for the time being, I also have to separate, and that's what I mean about like shutting off emotionally. I'm learning things that my body can do, that my brain can do, that I didn't know that I could do, and it's almost a protective thing. So that's cool, I guess. I've learned to be less sensitive and break down less, but in a useful way, not like an avoidant way. I still have to deal with it. So that happened. Saturday, while we were moving, the ceiling literally collapsed in our old house and just came like crashing down. And I was, with everything that had happened, like in the first couple of days, I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't. My ceiling is falling down. My world is actually falling down around me, and I have to clean this up. And Derek walked in, and he was like, something good's going to happen. He was like, it has to. Like it was just, as soon as I sent that contract off, it was like every day there was something. The next day, or I think a couple days later, we moved into our new place. It rained a lot. The basement flooded. It's just these stupid little things keep happening. And there comes a point where you're like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's so much shit happening and going wrong that it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, I am numb to it. I'm used to it. And what's cool about that is I feel like I've gotten used to challenges. And it's I just want to make the point of this entire video is that things are not perfect for me right now in any way. This has been the most hellacious week, and it's awesome because this whole time, even after that, I had to still take note, funerals and visitations and packing and moving and getting myself in a position to compete this weekend, juggling things financially. It's a mess. My whole life is a mess. But I didn't break my diet. I can't emotionally eat right now. I can't go have a beer and drown my sorrows or escape. I have no escape through the cheap things that would mask and band-aid this stuff. So I have to fight through it. And that's really cool to know that I can do that now. That I can handle all this bullshit and still stay the course. And we moved furniture for like 12 hours on Sunday. Straight. 12 hours straight. And I still got my 2 hours of cardio in every fucking day. And I still got all of my lifts in. And I didn't miss anything. I still posed when I was supposed to, because what this started to become for me was very grounding and stable. And I was like, you know what? My entire life is a mess, but I have this. And I have the best people that you could imagine in my life right now, keeping me focused, letting me process my emotions when they choose to come out without me having to feel like I have to hide them or cover them up. If you see me in the gym this week, you have seen me sobbing and crying because that's what I'm feeling right now. I don't feel happy. I'm excited about this show, but I've been hurting very much, and my heart is broken, and I'm going through a lot of changes internally. And so when that comes out, I don't care if it makes other people uncomfortable, because I'm uncomfortable. But it's really cool to see how many people in my life are like, you know what, Autumn, you just go ahead and feel it out. And they don't judge me. They don't try to change what I'm feeling. They're only supportive, and I just have the most amazing boyfriend. I have the most amazing friends. I don't know if you all understand how much your messages help me, and your words help me, because I forget sometimes that I'm not alone, and that I don't have to be a leader all the time, and I don't have to be inspirational, and I don't have to be motivational, and I feel those pressures a lot, because that's just what people know me as. That's what I do. But it's really cool to have all of you guys reach out and say, like, hey, don't forget we're watching, or don't forget you're inspiring, even when I don't feel that way. I don't feel inspirational right now, but even just someone saying, like, hey, I'm thinking of you, like, that has meant the world to me this week, because I need it. I need the support right now, and I need the help. It's a big lesson for me to say, I'm gonna let go of trying to control everything, and I'm gonna ask for help, and I'm gonna let people help me, and I'm not gonna try to do everything by myself, because that's what I do. I'm a control freak, and this has taught me that you cannot control shit except for how you react and how you handle things. I haven't been able to control any of the circumstances in my life the last couple days to weeks, but I controlled what I could, and I'm so glad that I did, because when I get on that stage tomorrow, I'm so damn proud of myself. I'm so proud of it. I can't even believe it. But that, when my 2 clear plastic heels hit that deck, man, I'm just gonna, I would just break down right then. This is more to me than a contest. This was a huge test, and for my first pro show, it's the biggest test of my entire life. So I'm so glad that I get to have that as that was my first pro show with all these adversities that I got to overcome. I am just happy to be here. I'm happy to share that stage with all these people, all these athletes that have worked so hard at this level. Yeah, I know it's a competition, and don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna fight for it. I want to be hard to beat. So I'm bringing that. I'm bringing everything I can. But the trophies and the money don't matter to me right now. They don't at all. All I want is just to say, man, I did that. And feel at my personal best, which I do. I feel, like I said, I'm in disbelief that I'm here right now. Physically, like my state, the package that I'm bringing. If something happened, I couldn't compete tomorrow, I would still feel like I'm having closure with this chapter in my book. And it's a very peaceful ending to my season. I'll be done competing in like 24 hours? What time is it? Nah, like 18 hours. I can't do math right now. I'll be done dieting tomorrow night. But I still have, I still have goals and I still have things to hit. But the light at the end of my tunnel here is getting to Saturday. My best friend is getting married, and I'm just as happy for her wedding as I am for this contest. And I get to let loose, and I get to dance, and I get to eat, and I get to be around my friends. And it's going to be amazing. And then I get to come back. I get to slowly come back to real life. And I will never have felt a bigger sense of accomplishment than what I have now. After this 7 months, after the last 2 hardest months of my entire life, the most challenging week of my life, and somehow I got myself here. So that's what's happening. I'm going to post some links where you guys can follow this stuff. I'm still checking my phone sometimes, but I pretty much have it turned off just so I can absorb and be present here and take this experience in. So I'll post some things so you guys can watch if you want to. Even watching this, I know it's a super long video, but it's important. It's important that you hear this, because a lot of people make these reasons in their head why they can't have or do something because things aren't perfect. But I'm here to tell you right now that they're never going to be perfect. But that doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you want and have the things that you want.